What's up guys, it's Ray Tech here, and in a few weeks from now, Apple is going to announce her new big flagship, the iPhone 6s. Now, with every iPhone launch, there is tons of leaks and rumors about what's going to be in the new iPhone. And if you remember, with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, there were tons of leaks and rumors about what's going to be in the new iPhone. So with this iPhone 6s, there is also a lot of leaks, and like a new build material they say they're going to use to the aluminum now, and to make it stronger, and display with Force Touch, and new 12 megapixel camera. So in this video, I want to cover with you all the leaks and rumors there is about the new iPhone 6s, and according to the oldest leaks, let's kind of build the new iPhone. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the iPhone 6, and this is the iPhone 6s. iPhone 6, iPhone 6s, iPhone 6, iPhone 6s. Nah, I'm just kidding, but the iPhone 6s is expected to stay with the same design as the iPhone 6. Well, because this is an S model. For all of you that don't know, Apple has started with the S model since the iPhone 3GS. So just for the record, in 2008 there was iPhone 3G, and then in 2009 iPhone 3GS, and so on, iPhone 4, 4S, 5, 5S, 6, and now probably 6S. Now, in the start, nobody knew this is going to be a 6S. There were some that thought this is going to be a blown mind iPhone that's going to be called iPhone 7, but after some leaks and photos that came in the last days, I can say for sure that this year there's going to be an iPhone 6S. The design is dramatically similar to the iPhone 6, and if already the design is going to stay like the iPhone 6, I was hoping that the antenna lines that were in the iPhone 6, this time in the iPhone 6s, going to match their colors to the color of the iPhone, to make not notable to the eye. I think that could make the design of the one-piece aluminum of the iPhone be nicer and more good looking, but as you can see in the photos, then no. Antenna lines in their own color, and color of the iPhone in his own color. So that was a disappointment to me. I love the design of the iPhone 6, and I'm sure I'm gonna love the design of the iPhone 6s, but still it was nicer to not see the antenna lines color in my eye, and just focus on the beautiful one-piece, one-color aluminum unibody, but never mind. So as we can see, the design of the iPhone is going to stay similar. Now let's talk about the display. So as I considered it, there is not going to be any change to the display size because this is an S model, and no change to the display resolution in this iPhone, because first of all, this is Apple iPhone. Apple is always and will always going to play the game by our own rules. Let me explain. Let's all go back in time to June 2010 at Apple WWDC.
Now, the Retina display has 326 pixels per inch. There's never been a display like this on a phone. People haven't even dreamed about a display like this on a phone. But it's more than that. It turns out that there's a magic number right around 300 pixels per inch, that when you hold something around 10 or 12 inches away from your eyes is the limit of the human retina to differentiate the pixels. And so they're so close together when you get at this 300 pixels per inch threshold that all of a sudden things start to look like continuous curves. like text looks like you've seen it in a fine printed book, unlike you've ever seen on an electronic display before. And at 326 pixels per inch, we are comfortably over that limit, and it's extraordinary.
So as you can see, Steve Jobs is saying that the new Retina display in the iPhone 4 is 326 ppi. Just for the record, ppi means pixels per inch, which means that the more there is pixels in 1 inch, the more the display is sharper. And you can see the smallest details in your eyes, and that's actually what makes a display sharp and good looking. And over 300 pixels per inch in normal distance of using your phone, you can't see the pixels anymore, which means that according to this, you won't be able to notice who is sharper if you look on 350 ppi display or 450 pixels per inch display in normal distance of using your phone. So I guess that Apple is looking on all the companies right now that have a 450 or 550 ppi displays with crazy 2K display resolutions and say, wait a second, why do we need this kind of display? We said it, you don't need over 300 pixels per inch. It won't help anyone. So you can see that Apple is not going to turn her back to her own rules, and if they say there is no need in more than 300 pixels per inch, they're going to stay with it. So as I can see it right now, iPhone 6s is going to be with a 4.7-inch Retina HD display, because this is an HD display, with a resolution of 1334 by 750, given at 326 pixels per inch, same as always, and the only favorite we get from Apple will probably be the iPhone 6s Plus, that I think is going to stay with the same 1920 by 1080 display with 401 pixels per inch. So display resolution, I think, not going to change, and that is not so bad. I mean, you will get a better performance with battery life, and we all know already that Apple is not the best with battery life in the market, and you still have a sharp display with very good colors, good brightness, better contrast at wider viewing angles. So iPhone display, after all, is not so bad. Not bad at all. I mean, maybe higher resolution and bigger display is going to be with iPhone 7. I mean, you never know what's going in Apple's mind. Okay, now let's talk about the new chip that probably going to be called the A9 chip. So what's going to be in it and how it will improve the performance of the iPhone? Well, first of all, I think that it will be built on a 40nm processor technology, because Samsung is the one who creates for Apple the chips, and they already have a chip that built on 40nm technology. It is the Exynos 7420 in the Galaxy S6 and Galaxy Note 5, and the last chip from Apple was 20nm. So it's obvious that they will want to create a smaller processor. So yeah, I think we will see a 40nm processor in the iPhone 6s, which it will deliver better performance. It will be better, of course, if they will add more transistors to the chip. Then I think that the chip will be much faster and much better than the previous one. And there is some rumors that Apple is going to make more RAM, 2GB of RAM compared to 1GB of RAM on previous iPhones, and it will be a triple core processor. So I expected from this chip to be really, really strong. Apple always knew how to create good processors in our phones. So A9 chip will be in this phone with 64-bit and will be built probably on 14 or 16 nanometer processor, and will have 3 or 4 billion transistors, and will have 2GB of RAM, and it will be 3 cores processor, and also we will probably see a new M9 motion coprocessor. Now let's talk about the camera. So according to the rumors, it will be the biggest improvement in the history of iPhone. Let's see why. So first of all, it will pack a 12 megapixel camera, and right away you can say that the iPhone 6s will pack a 4K video recording, because in 4K resolution you have 8.3 million pixels, which is 8.3 megapixel. And the camera of the iPhone until now was 8 megapixels, so it couldn't record it to 4K, and it was just 1080p. Now Apple can stay with 1080p with the new iPhone with the 12 megapixel, but it will be kind of weird and stupid, because almost all flagships today of all companies has phones with 4K video recording, and Apple is still with 1080p. Now I think that they will upgrade the camera to 4K, because if this is the biggest improvement in the camera of the iPhone, and we haven't seen until now any upgrade to the resolution of the video recording, so it will probably be 4K video recording. Now with OIS, I think that it will still be for the Plus version, because when I saw the pictures of the new iPhone 6s, I saw that there is no much space between the camera lens to the microphone for OIS. Now also in the pictures you can see that there is no more the dual lens technology in this camera. Probably they saving it for the next model. Now in aperture size, I think it will be f2.0 to get more light to the sensor. Still, we are talking about here about the biggest improvement to the camera of the iPhone, but you can never know. Front-facing camera probably will be 5 megapixel according to the rumors, but I am really not sure that Apple is ready for the big jump from 1.2 to 5 megapixel. So I think it will probably be something like 2 megapixel with f2.0, but still not sure in anything. And video recording, the front-facing camera will be, I hope, 1080p if they will upgrade the front-facing camera to 2 megapixel or more. So this will probably be the next generation camera. It will be 12 megapixel with f2.0, and I think also with RGBW pixels, adding a white color to the normal colors of the pixels to make the picture better. If I were Apple, I would call it color pixels, Apple and her names to her technologies. And also 2 or 5 megapixel front camera and 4K, I hope, and 1080p video recording to the front camera. And if this is the upgrade to the camera of the iPhone, then yes, this is the biggest improvement until now to the camera of the iPhone. Now, last major feature in the iPhone 6s will be Force Touch, that right now in the Apple Watch and the 2015 MacBook. So now it will come to the iPhone 6s. Now I don't know what kind of actions it will do if we will press on the iPhone, but this is a major feature of the Model S, like there was Siri on the iPhone 4S and Touch ID on the iPhone 5s. So now Force Touch is the major feature in the iPhone 6s. Now it will probably also affect on the dimensions of the iPhone, make it a little bit longer and thicker, but not by a lot. So yes, we will probably have Force Touch in the next generation iPhone. Now, another small feature in the iPhone 6s will probably be the option storage. Now, Apple is probably, according to the rumors, going to drop down the 16GB storage and replace it with 32. So now we're going to have 32, 64, and 128GB storage. Although I'm not sure that Apple is ready to drop down the 16GB storage. But if it will start in 32 gigabyte, so it will start in $199 for 32, and it will load down the prices for much bigger storage. And we're gonna also get a new color that's going to be called the rose gold from the Apple Watch. Again, not sure, but this is the rumors, this is the leaks, and that's will probably what's going to be in the next iPhone. So here you go. This is probably the iPhone 6s. This is probably all the features. Again, not for sure. This is just rumors, but you can compare it to the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. And thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you to understand a little bit more about Apple's next flagships. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, you can ask me down below in the comments or in my Twitter. And I will see you in the next video.